Hi guys, thank you for following me to this last video using the cake. I don't want to ever look at another piece of cake again. I don't want to ever eat another piece of cake again. Here I am though. And I'm making cake pops out of the remaining pieces leftover cake so I don't waste anything. So first up was the red velvet cake pops. So I took the trimmed tops that I had taken the day before and put it together with the cream cheese frosting that I had used for the cake. And I was just gonna wash my hands and mash them together and combine them into balls. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Then it was time to use some lollipop stick things that I had found in a cabinet and start assembling the red velvet cake pops and putting them on a plate. And we ended up changing the plate so it would have wax paper on it, which helped a lot. And then I took out and threw away the candy melts because they just were not it. Here I am putting them in the fridge. As I've previously mentioned in my last video, iMovie does cut off the tops and the bottoms of the footage. So right here I'm cutting up strawberries even though you can't see. iMovie is fake! But yep, I cut up some strawberries to add to a little bit of extra strawberry flavor in my strawberry cake pops. So I opened a new thing of cream cheese frosting from my pantry that literally expired the next day. So the people who I gave it to at school, sorry. Here I am putting in the excess trimmed parts and the entire layer to make the strawberry cake pops, and yeah. As I did with my red velvet cake pops, I went ahead and started mashing them together by hand, mixing the cream cheese and the cake together, and then I put the real strawberries in so it looked like this. And that's when I started actually forming the cake pops. And honestly, I was beginning to notice that it was very wet. the mix itself was wet, and adding the strawberries just added too much moisture, and so they were really sticky, and it caused problems in the future. So I went ahead and I started heating up the chocolate in intervals. I was gonna dip the cake balls, cake pops, same thing. I was gonna dip it in white chocolate and dark chocolate or milk chocolate, and yeah, but there was this. As you can see in that clip before, the strawberry cake pops were far too wet and heavy and dense to stay on the actual pop. It would just go right through the stick. So I just made them cake balls and I just covered them as normal. And actually they turned out pretty good. Look, here's how they ended up. Messy, but tasty. Once I was finished making the cake pops, it was time to put them in a container and then hand them out to my friends the next day at school. So I posted this picture on my one of my Snapchat stories and said to come and get them, basically. Once I handed them out, I feel like most people enjoyed them just because they're like, depressed high school students that just want sugar, but I could tell they weren't really that good. Emily made it pretty obvious when she threw hers.
Where's Aiden's lunch then? Is she not?
My honest take on them, honestly, if I were to do them again, honestly, I don't think I'd do them again at all. Like, if I made cake, I'd just either eat the remaining pieces or just say sorry to God and throw them away, because the only ones, the red velvet cake pops were pretty good, especially the ones that had the milk chocolate on them, because they were nice and dry and they were nicely packed. But the strawberry ones, especially since I added that extra strawberry, I didn't realize that it had like a sour taste, and so they were kind of like sour and wet, and they were all falling apart, and they honestly weren't really that good, so I probably wouldn't do it again. So yeah, I learned from this experience to not do it again and not to put real strawberries in it, and if so, to pat it dry or something, because the strawberry ones were not it. And thank you to those people at school who ate them and were like, oh, I appreciate you trying to be nice. Alright, that's it for today's video. Bye-bye. Yes, I am aware that I look rough. I am sunburnt, and I am mad that I deleted my